Good evening, everybody. I would be going live at 7 p.m. I would be waiting for everybody to join for maybe next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I would like to start my discussion on challenges, changes, and future implications in IP for startups. So I've been apprised by the officials of Desi Qanun that the video might get automatically disconnected after 1 hour. So I still have 1 minute. I'll be starting precisely at 7 p.m. Because of the set cut. All right. A very good evening to all of you. I hope in times of such global crisis, everybody is keeping safe and are sound. And with this, I would like to start the discussion tonight. The outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the economy, and businesses across the globe are getting worst affected. Everybody across the globe are losing jobs, and everybody is not only facing financial turmoil but is also facing emotional turmoil. With travel, hospitality, and automakers among the hardest hit, supply chains are also in turmoil. Businesses are getting crushed, and as I just said, millions of jobs might be disappearing. On top of this, we have a looming public health crisis which threatens to claim various lives all across the globe. With this opening, I would like to thank Desi Qanun once again for giving me this platform to speak on a topic being challenges, changes, and future implications in IP for startups, which is one topic which I found it imperative to discuss, because being an IP practitioner, I have faced various questions and various hurdles that the clients are facing in terms to IP protection. Nonetheless, I am Anushka Arora. I am a practicing advocate at Delhi High Court, and I have graduated from IP main campus, and I have done my master's in intellectual property rights from the National University of Singapore, and I thank everybody to join me today on this live session. My discussion for today, as apprised, would be for 1 hour, and as the time would be cut after an hour, I would be allocating my times over subtopics as follows. I would be firstly discussing on what all could be done with IP protection by startups. I would thereafter be focusing on challenges which are being faced by startups currently. Thereafter, I'll be categorizing various subheads into patents, trademarks, IP ownerships, software protection, and talking about what was the practice for protection before and has it changed now, and what is the road ahead, and along with some advices that I would like to give to startups and young lawyers and IP enthusiasts today joined with me. Thereafter, lastly, I'll be focusing on challenges to be faced and the road ahead that we can see with respect to IP for startups. At the end, I'll be reserving my time for 5 to 10 minutes for questions, and I can take the same thereafter. With this, I would like to start my discussion today evening, and I would like to quote the outgoing director of the World Intellectual Property Organization, Francis Gurry, who in April made 2 statements in his address which revolved around policy issues raised by the COVID-19 pandemic in IP. And to the initial response to this, he told, and he quoted, he said, and I quote, that it's far too early to predict anything in terms to IP policies in times of global crisis. But shortly thereafter, in his second press conference, he released a statement of policy issues, wherein it's very important for our discussion today, and I highlight the same, wherein he said that we are going to depend on startups for innovation. Some countries are considering delay of fees to ensure that IP is protected despite lack of liquidity. So this is a sort of policy consideration of an immediate nature we are looking at. So something good for startups at hand today. With this, I'd like to start with my first subhead, that what all can be done with IP protection. And I feel this is very important to address before I start my discussion tonight. And that's because today we focus on startups, entities who've invested huge amounts for either a product launch or a service launch into the market. So in their head, they do not consider intellectual property to be a very important aspect which should be given protection. And I have personally faced this said with many clients across. IP protection at times is considered to be a very trivial aspect by people who are starting with the businesses. But in today's discussion, I hope and I wish that I could clear some misconceptions about the same. So what all could be done with IP protection? A lot could be done with the same. You can sell, you can license your IP protected products, which can give you royalties or returns in future. By going into IP protection, you can also make your brand distinctive, and thereby you can attract exclusivity in the market. Thereby, you can also use these intellectual properties as securities if you want to go ahead with loans. You can also avail various legal remedies, and if you go forward with IP protection, wherein you can stop, cease and desist many infringers who try to infringe upon your intellectual property. Furthermore, you can legally stop others to make, sell, import without your agreement into the same. You thereafter can also plan many strategic alliances and so on and so forth. So there are many benefits which arise into IP protection, which are of course general protections. But unfortunately, as I said, these are not taken into consideration by startups. However, with the advent of technology today, more and more startups are definitely planning to invest a lot into IP protection. After saying this, I now turn into challenges which are being faced by startups in today's present scenario. We all are going through a lot right now, and when the pandemic not leaving human race, into a long run. I think that impression of intellectual property rights when the situation was also normal, it was sort of considered to be an innovation or an incentive for innovation in the long run. But now, in the context of an acute pandemic, they are instead perceived to be potentially slowing down vital investments. Clients, startups usually think that if they go forward and go ahead with IP protection at this stage, they may lose on to money, which is as it is not there with them. So this is a very important challenge wherein the clients are stuck into dilemmas or startups are stuck into dilemmas, whether or not to go forward with IP protection. So this brings me to the question of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. Which sectors would open, which sectors would not open? What are the zones in which trade and commerce would function properly? Every now and then we hear there are some policy changes. Now that we would be running into lockdown 4, we really do not know how the market would open, how the setups would come into the picture. So uncertainty is a very important factor which startups are today facing when it comes to intellectual property protection. Thereafter, as I said, that a lot of investment has already been done into bringing out a product or a service launch by a startup. So recovery rate right now seems negligible for these startups. At least in the long run, they feel that they can't recover the money that they've already invested. So this is also a challenge which is being faced by the entities today. Further, there are various other challenges which various other businesses across different sectors that they're catering to are facing today. For example, sectors like e-commerce, wherein a startup comes into an e-commerce business, might be seeing themselves to be flourishing, but of course with associated risks. Furthermore, there are various challenges which are to be seen in light to the present pandemic, which are the issue of digitally signed copies, which is coming into the picture. More and more foreign companies are entering into agreements with third parties. Entities like DigiSign are coming into picture a lot. They are evolving, wherein they certify that parties have digitally executed the document, and they're even executing certain affidavits, which one day or the other day would be used as an electronic evidence in the court of law if parties enter into litigation. And as we all know, that electronic evidence is still bearing various grey areas and many challenges flow ahead, which are yet to be clarified by the Supreme Court. And here I pause and I would like to point out that Pinky Anand in the recent, senior advocate Pinky Anand in a recent article also mentioned about virtual courts, and she also mentioned how electronic evidences would be challenging in the next future. Thereafter, there are also various issues involved by startups today who wish to enter into IP protection, which go on into maybe testing or getting copies notarized, or maybe signing an advocate to take on their IP protections, or getting an POA attested, for example. Movement, delivery, signing are all challenges which today startups do face. And of course, lack of funding may also hinder IP protection aspects, and so on and so forth. So in light to this, we now turn and change into the aspect of categorizing each and every intellectual property today. So we can see patents can have different risks. If we go forward with protection of the same, trademarks would also be analyzed in my discussion. Thereafter, IP ownership and software developments are few areas which would have to be seen in terms to what are the challenges faced, and how and what is the road ahead. So when we talk about patents, I feel that pre-COVID and post-COVID, the reasons for patenting your inventions are largely the same. But in such times, patenting an invention can be relatively expensive for startups who sometimes understandably undermine the question of protecting patents. Because at this time, as I just pointed out, startups are not really in a good condition as funding is a crisis. And thereafter, going forward with a very expensive affair of patenting inventions would definitely be challenging for startups today. However, patents are very important if protection is given to inventions, and that should be understood by startups. I'll highlight few aspects of advantages wherein startups may get benefits of protecting patents today, which would be that by protecting inventions, they can secure their market position. They can also secure financial returns on commercially successful innovations. They can obtain greater negotiating power when collaborating with other companies if patents are in process, if inventions are in process of getting patents. Further, they can also attract investment partners, which can support their business expansions, and so on and so forth. However, as we begin to experience the effects of COVID-19 related disruptions, startups in particular may need to make difficult decisions today. With limited resources, what should a startup prioritize now with respect to their inventions and approach to patents? I feel, and as per the times that we have entered into and seeing financial crunch of startups, it is imperative to point out that presently, startups can delay the patent process if it is not expedient at the moment to get them patented. By doing so, what they can do is that they can keep their idea secret, because criteria of getting a patent are very strict. If a patent is in public domain, or if you publish your patent, or if you publish a procedure or a part of your patent, then they are likely to either attract objections by the registry, or you may not get a patent, or a third party may see your patent and thereafter file a patent application, and priority of course goes to the one who files the patent application. Further, develop process for invention capture and protection within the company. This all points out to one thing, that right now what is important is to brainstorm. If you are on terms to go forward with the patent, or there is an lying invention, what you can do is that you can brainstorm around this existing invention. You can come up maybe with new ideas, you can keep them all secret, and thereafter you can work on certain more aspects, so that once you get the entire idea in your hand, you can formulate a comprehensive approach to the said patent, and maybe instead of a provisional filing of a patent, you can go for a direct filing of a patent when the market is all clear again. Also, brainstorming, in furtherance to brainstorming, what startups can right now do is to identify their competitors or potential partners and keep a track onto the business as to how the business is leading, and what are they exploring, and what all are the various aspects in which they are venturing into. And so on and so forth could be certain aspects in which startups can think about patent protection. Further, we now change our focus to trademarks in a post-COVID world. Even under normal circumstances, there can be uncertainty around what trademarks protect, how can they secure and add up to a startup, and how they are best managed. Now, in the wake of COVID-19, startups also need to understand how normal management of trademarks needs to change, given the transformation their companies and their markets are experiencing during this unprecedented times. Trademarks have always been considered to be a very trivial aspect when it comes to protection under intellectual property rights by startups. But little do startups know that protecting their brand is something which will gain them market access. It will gain them market exclusivity, and will give them a distinctive arena to launch their products. With this, a little about trademark protection that startups fail to understand, and which I briefly pointed out right now, is that trademarks are still badge of origin. They still are a source of origin. They still are a protection given to a mark, which highlights the distinctiveness and which shows that this is the main entity from which the goods and the products are coming from. So badge of origin is very important in trademarks, because we in today's market don't identify products just for the heck of them. We see the mark and we relate to, oh, this is that product from that company. So that's how we understand trademarks, and that's how startups should understand trademarks. Thereafter, trademarks can also give a lot of benefits if startups consider to go forward with the protection in today's context as well, because it, of course, as I mentioned in my opening discussion, that it gives you a right to cease and desist other fellow competitors who are infringing upon your mark, maybe. And it can also give you leverage in disputes and commercial negotiations, if any of the startup enters into. And also licensing to third parties will generate royalties, and so on and so forth. A few advantages of getting a trademark protection today, which remains still the same today. The protection aspect still remains the same today, and it was still the same pre-COVID-19. However, amidst this pandemic and post-COVID-19, there would be few aspects which startups would need to consider, and they are that presently what startups can do is that how a trademark is flown into a process is that usually startups engage a lawyer and they have a proposed mark in their head, or maybe that has been used since a few years. They make the attorney, they tell the attorney about what the mark is and associated services or goods attached. There is a search report which thereafter comes into picture. The advocate creates conflicting marks, a tabular conflicting marks in terms to the search being carried out of the mark of the startup, and advises the client accordingly. So at this time, what I feel is that startups can proceed to trademark filings without a search as well, because the trademark searches in itself they bear costs. So, but of course, saying this with very caution is that this methodology should only be adopted if the clients are really sure about the mark's distinctiveness and if they have a prima facie opinion about the same. Else, venturing into a trademark without a search would not be recommended. However, this can be also an aspect which startups today can consider and plan about. Further, there can be entities which have numerous goods and are into numerous services at the moment, and if supposedly they would want to take a trademark protection right now, they can list out what all are their main goods and services in today's context. Instead of filing applications going into each and every class and going into each and every services is something which I feel startups can avoid, and which will of course benefit them in cost cutting. Also, if startups would want to file their trademarks abroad, they can delay the said process for some time, till the time the situation is a little normal. Further on to IP ownership, I would like to point out that IP ownership is something which is bound to change in the present COVID-19 circumstances, and this is because when we talk about IP ownership, we talk about either copyrights or we talk about patents. So IP ownership is something which in post-COVID-19 would definitely change. And that's because various collaborations and various entities are coming into the picture, and they're collaborating together, and they're working together. So by doing this, multiple parties and multiple entities are working together. So because of that, what is happening is that the question of IP ownership is bound to arise, which will create a problem as to who is the owner of the said product which is being launched, or an idea which came into picture. And also, inventing at home is something which is coming into the picture. In today's global crisis, work from home has become the talk of the town, and that's the need of the hour also. So more and more companies are deploying works either on video conferences or by employees being at home. So this creates this poses various other questions in today's time as to what all could be the challenges which can arise from the said situation. Which brings me to the last categorization of software protection. Software protection is something which in today's scenario could be having many benefits, because at such times when people want to relax, entities and startups can develop softwares in which probably they can be online hobbies coming into the picture, or they can be certain distractions used as tools in terms to maybe games or something of that sort. Now with this, the main problem right now is that many entities or many startups directly want to launch their softwares into the market. But because of this, what happens is that they fail to understand that whether the software has an open code which is visible, or is it into the background, what happens is that if supposedly the software which has certain features which are very visible to the viewers, maybe third parties can infringe upon that. So this may create many litigations, and can the main entity which started up the startup can lose track on the IP ownership of the same. A little more about startups right now going into IP ownership back is that work from home, as it has become a very important aspect of our daily lives, what is happening is that employees have access to the information while they're working from home. So startups right now need to strategize the said environment, wherein they may probably deploy laptops, they may probably fix in firewalls, or certain security measures could be added into the same, which would ensure that employees, while working from home, do not go haywire, or do not at all risk their businesses. Having said this, my next aspect would be on challenges in the road ahead, which which startups may face in relation to intellectual property. And at the said moment, what public and private sector leaders right now need, they do not need a predefined response plan, but rather they need behavior and mindset changes that help solve problems, or help solve them from the situations that we're facing today, which is very unfamiliar and unprecedented. The focus right now should be on highly practical challenges, which should possibly be considered by startups today. Maybe changing in the mindset which I just mentioned could be that certain startups which had possibly started in a particular direction can, in the present scenario, analyze that the need of the hour is going into digital platform. So maybe they can come up with something which can equate with the present situation, which could be only done if startups, without being fixated, can change their minds and can be a little relaxed and adapt with the present situations. Further, more into the said challenges or the road ahead right now is that for startups are right now at a very unique pedestal, because they are right now getting support from the government also. They could directly support governments with innovative and fast solutions, as for example what has happened in the Mumbai-based startup Haptic Technologies, in collaboration with India's Ministry of the Spread of Misinformation. A WhatsApp chat has been created, which is for creating awareness about coronavirus and stop the spread of misinformation. So, in such situations, change of mindset and also taking an advantage of the present situation is very important. Furthermore, the key sectors right now which may boom and which may be beneficial for startups who may plan into online education, for example, or for research and experimental use, or for vital public interests, maybe health access or medicine or culture. So these are few sectors which are bound to boom. Furthermore, some challenges which are thought to be faced or which can be coming in would be in terms to cyber threat and data breaches. As already pointed out in my discussion before, cyber threats are governments and leading entities may deflect cyber threats, but small businesses and startups often lack the necessary resources and security policies to defend against cyber frauds. So keeping in mind the development right now, and also keeping in mind what are the challenges that startups could face, the entities could create a holistic environment and also understand what are the likely outcomes of the said pandemic. Furthermore, as I pointed out categorically in my discussion before, that the problem of remote working, which was work from home, is being seen to be on a rise, and which would be the future ahead, would create problems. Obviously, this is an area which would bring out many various more concerns to startups, to the employers specifically. So hence it is, as I already pointed out, that it is advisable that small businesses or enterprises, they provide laptops or devices to employees to work from homes by installing anti-spywares, firewall softwares or anti-malwares in order to cope with certain problems which can be seen by employees misusing the said information being provided. Further, only secured virtual private network (VPN) connectivity be allowed for remote access, which would be a certain enhanced security provision which startups could consider in tackling remote working issues and work from home issues. Thereafter, the entities could ensure that their devices such as laptops or mobiles or tablets which are being given to the employees should be remotely traced and could be deactivated or could be scrutinized as to what are the employees, how are the employees accessing information on the said. Furthermore, in times to come, various issues into phishing and supply chain attacks are also visible. Everything going into entities mostly conversing on video conferences, transactions happening virtually. Phishing is a key concern that startups need to understand in a post-COVID world. They should treat every email with zero trust. That's how they will try to deflect certain types of cyber attacks like phishing in times to come. Furthermore, there can be various common intellectual property pitfalls which startups usually face, and usually they come up with these certain propositions in which by just saying that did we really disclose the invention is something which startups usually fall. So this is a very important challenge with startups, at least in post-COVID times, needs to understand that any sort of invention should not be disclosed and not be taken lightly. So furthermore, various startups keep on thinking, even pre-COVID times, startups and entities kept thinking about whether or not they should go forward with an IP protection or not, which delayed the process. And post-COVID-19 or during COVID-19, startups, the situation was already bad, and the situation is now going worse. Startups are not thinking about protecting IP at all. But in the discussion that we just had, there are certain things which startups can consider without being too busy to busy thinking about whether or not they should go forward with IP, any sort of IP protection. Furthermore, to know what exactly your invention is, or to know what protection has to be given to an entity or to a mark, is something which startups need to understand, and such times should not dissociate startups to think about the same. Furthermore, in present times when everything is going haywire, even post COVID-19, startups who already have an idea intact, who already have been using their marks, or who have been using their products irrespective of registration, if they come across another entity infringing upon the said product or mark, etc., they should not lose hope, because the right always lies to the person who first developed or who first started using, if we talk about trademarks. So this is something which startups usually get very disheartened about. If somebody else starts using their intellectual property. But in present times, we really do not know how circumstances will change, and we really do not know how competitors would be using different strategies to demoralize other entities. But nonetheless, in my conclusion of the said discussion about startups in respect to intellectual property rights is that the need of the hour right now is prototyping, and that needs to be done really quickly. The need of the hour is to let away your stubborn mindsets. One needs to adapt with the situation, everything going virtual, everything going on a digital platform. Businesses needs to be restructured, contracts needs to be restructured in that manner. Entities who were beforehand only dealing either with business to business or were dealing with business to consumer portfolios, they need to restructure their entire setup. They need to understand that the need of the hour right now is to cope up with the present situations, and also at the same time being aware of their surroundings and keeping an eye as to what all other entities are doing across the globe can be an important aspects wherein startups can consider trying to strategize their businesses. However, intellectual property does remain a very important aspect in be it pre-COVID times or be it the present COVID times or be it when the pandemic is over, which doesn't really seem to be happening soon. With this, I would like to conclude my discussion and I reserve my time for questions, if any, and I would be highly obliged if I could answer them. If I urge everybody if they could repost the questions as I would be unable to surf to the top of the comments. Alright, I would be ending the discussion here today, and the queries could be posted in the comment box. And thank you so much once again to everybody who joined and gave me their precious time. And thank you, Desi Kanun, once again. It was wonderful. Thank you.